Well, we are in the process of replacing all of these with the belt drive to make it a lot quieter in theory. So this is the setup of the second unit, and what I had found was if I put these in and mount them all up, should be good enough to put that part together, and then the rest we'll put together as we go. And then just found a problem with the print, and I did not catch that on the back one. Yep, cut this, but I figured I'd just show you what I'm doing, maybe. So this ended up having a rim here, which cannot get in there because of the way this is mounted. These were just going to slide in like this front edge. It doesn't have a lip. And somehow when I've done the modeling, I left the back edge on. So let's see if I can cut this out enough to where I can get that bearing load slid in there. Not making too big of a mess. This is a 7-hour print, and I don't want to go back and have to reprint it again. I've already got a huge stack. And yeah, I know I need to take more time looking at checking models to make sure they're right, but I'm an impatient person, unfortunately. That's my wife. Let's see. Alright, let's go out and get a pair of channel locks and push that in. I will be right back. And I will fast forward this instead of making you sit here and watch me tighten down 3 screws. See, we got a slight gap there. We need to go put it in the press. I think I'll try that. Well, that did help the gap using the vise on it. Let's see if these screws will pull it on up. Yeah, that's what happens when you fires. Yeah, leave your work. That's what you got. That's what you get. What do I got to figure out? Just do it. Take 5 minutes. We'll keep back and did it. I can talk with. We'll have to wait. Yeah, definitely modify the model. It just has to be some access in. I don't want to do all this. You just hold the backside of the axle, please. I'm using the M3 by 6 heat press knurl fitting to put those in. And they do figure go with a 6mm because they're definitely have a lot of pressure pulling them, and I've had a lot of these pull free in this PLA. I was doing ABS, but it's like I don't need the extra added expense for doing ABS. It's not going to be outside. This will be inside on a table. It'll be ran for 3 to 4 days at a time. The various shows that we do throughout the year, and there's no sunlight or heat that will ever be a factor on it. So eventually I may set this thing up to run in my office across the ceiling, which would be kind of cool, along with my monorail that I have. I have it run around the ceiling on top of my IKEA cabinets that I have. I think that'd be fun. Like a Mr. Rogers kind of train, but that'll be a monorail. And it is true. The difference between men and boys is the price of the toys. And yeah. Well, that one synced up really well. Why these two didn't. Well, it's not terrible. The one in the middle, though, they just won't ever seem to settle down. It may have pulled the brass nut free in there. Oh well. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. They've got a 10 millimeter lip that's holding them in place. That's 1.2 millimeters thick. So around the outside edge, and there's nothing to pull on them anyway. It's just to be held in place to hold this axle from slipping. Okay, so let's see what we got. That first one's coming across. Well, I guess we need to mount these two together, because if they're not mounted together, they will not be able to mount this belt on there on this first pulley. So what we'll have is this pulley here that'll attach to this whole chain. And sorry for the camera angle. I need a wider angle camera and a bigger workspace, but it is what it is. So now that pulley is in there hiding. So let me go find the screws to mount this together, because I believe this screw is too long. It is. And that screws, all of these were supposed to be used on this, and then we finished this one up. Guess we ought to do that too before we get too far along. Put that down. And that tells me I need to get 2 more screws from my pack of screws. Tell you what, I'm going to go out here to my Craftsman toolbox and see if I have anything that'll fit into a socket that I can put into my drill, put these in, because this is taking way too long. Again, well, I did not find anything in my Craftsman stuff, but I did find an X-Lite screwdriver set that my mother had bought me when I graduated college. And lo and behold, I think it might work. We will find out. Oh yeah. Ta-da! A whole lot quicker. So we got 4 good. Fish all damage. Sweet. I'll finish this back one off. It's not like this was really needed anyway, because it's got the stepper motor with 4 screws through it. You can see there, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom half. But for completeness, we will put a screw in here and get it to go all the way in. Just so it's sitting flush. Sweet. And that one's, like I say, that's the way it should look, nice and tight. But all of these are working now. Alright, so it's got that. And what do we need? I gotta go find screws to fit this. Over 10 millimeters roughly. Yeah, 10, 20. So I need a 20 millimeter screw. I need 3 of them. I need 3 nuts to mount in the other side. Press fit. Alright, we're back. We got 3 20 millimeter M3s with nuts. So let's see if we can get these nuts press fit in first. At one point I had it just right, and then I go back to remodel it, and I think I may have messed up. Nope. Yeah, you got the right one. Well, let's slide this over. I have to go get the channel locks again. Maybe not. Alright, let's get that. So let's see if we can get the screws through. This is something new that I'm trying to figure out. As you can see here, I've got a 20 millimeter slot I put in here so I can do this part that I need. But got no way to tighten it. I just thought about that. So that's going to be a real pain in the tail. Actually, no, I may be able to use that X-Lite screwdriver and do it with enough distance to make it work. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Ta-da! Love it when things work. Oh, so much better than the alternative. They are a little long. I probably went with a 18 instead of 20. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I got a... Well, luckily, I did have 18 millimeter, and I think that'd be a much better... much cleaner option. Yeah, it's a pain. What's new? Holes need to be slightly bigger. At least shouldn't have to be threaded in. I should just slide in. Item number 300 on my to-do list. Let's go. Let's make sure these are 18 millimeter. 18.17, close enough. All right. Let's check and see if this is going to work before we go and do the other one. Just a little bit. Good and flush. Perfect. That is the perfect size. I need to make note of that. Let's see if we can get this other one out. This is what I'm afraid of. I may have messed my X-line screwdriver up. Well, I allowed it to come free, but that ain't gonna let it go all the way out. Let's see if I got another little elephant chair. Oh, what do I do? Well, I got a brass rod here. Let's see if it'll go through. Nope, too big. Take this apart. Oh, come on. Where's my other I said that, and now it's too big. Let's see if I can push and... Oh, this is breaking that apart. Well, looks like I run a screwdriver will screw back in the back. Maybe push that one out. Well, took the nut out anyway. Now with the nut out, maybe we can push this one out. Yeah, buddy. Alright, 18 millimeter, drop it back in there. Oh, that's interesting. Head on the 18 is bigger than the 20. Ooh. Ooh. Never noticed that. 20 is a smooth bore. The 18 has got a way to grip it. And this slot was made based on that 20. Well, after all that, you know what? We'll leave the 20 in there. Hate to do it, but I ain't gonna bother to try to route that out at this time. That's another thing on my to-do list. Make this slot the right size for the 18 millimeter. Oh well. Yeah, I need to find my nut to pop out. Put that back in. I guess in theory I could go out and find some 18 millimeter smooth bore too. It's just not something you look at when you go buy the screws. You just order whatever you find typically. We don't carry a lot of metric stuff in the United States. It tends to be expensive. I ordered a lot of it from like AliExpress or Temu or buy them in a large pack. Is it not going in? I don't believe it is. I believe it's just sitting there spinning. Because it ain't grabbed the nut yet. Alright. Oh, I am going to go get my channel locks. I don't know what else you'd call them. They work. It's bulky is the reason I didn't want to bring them in here. Let's see. Going in this time? Yes, no. No, screw head's not disappearing, so I would say no. Let's see if that pushed it in there far enough to grab. Oh yeah, that time it did. Yep. Just flush. Perfect. Alright. Let's set that over there out of the way. So, now the fun part. This first one is going to be a bear. It is a 1-to-1 ratio, which is this. It's got to go through that belt, which is hiding down in there. And this is all in theory. It may not work at all, because it sure does look short. Sorry about the angle, guys. It's not an easy process. What I ideally wanted to do is have these little ABS washers first after this went through the wall, but they're so much of a pain. I'll try it and see. It was some I'd printed. I think it was, no, they were ASA. They're not even ABS, they're ASA. I got that in there, but I don't know that I'll ever get that belt stretched over that. And some kind of belt pulley thing. If anybody knows of a way to pull these belts over without messing them up, I would appreciate any input on that. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if this might work. Since we really don't have to have that pulley in place. Well, looky there. All we need is a second belt on there. Now, that will work with me. Let's get this other belt on. And then let's see if we can push this around enough to force it to go into the groove and into the second pulley back there. Oh, but wait, we've got to put the little Lego. It's going too easy. Using, oh, where am I at? Using these as a spacer. And I'm trying to put the round edge against the bearing. No. You stay right there. You push in. Hey, did it go? It went. Let's see here. Hang on. To go all the way into the other bearing. And this is where I ended up stabbing myself. I was using the pliers to push on that. It broke. It went into my finger. Look at that. The little ABS washer did not make it on that side of the piece where it was supposed to be. Doesn't look like there's any room anyway, so we will take it back off. And you know what? We'll just have to wear it. Alright, let's see if we can get the bearing back on there and get it to lock in. So that'll sit there like that. And yeah, there's nothing holding it in place except when I put that one in there. It has this end. It has a corner piece that's supposed to just lock that in. So it's like 1/4 of it's all you're getting to hold it in place, which should be more than enough. There is no sideways force on them. Just trying to keep them from riding out, popping out. Okay, now the fun part. We've got 2 different sets here. And that one there does not look good. Not good. So it printed too thin. So that's all I'm going to be able to do, because I have to use this small one first, and then it feeds the big gear. And I've got that set up over here somewhere. It's right here on this one. So it goes from the small to the big. So it's a step down on speed. So I've got these 4 tires, same speed. This is at 1/4 the speed, I think it is. Half speed. I can't remember what I think it's 20 teeth to 8 teeth or something like that. So yeah, I have to go back and look at the ratio. It's whatever the Lego gears were. I just modeled them after those, since that's exactly what we done the first time. And it seems to be a good speed, slowing it down to the point where it ends up in the round part of it at 180 RPMs out here on the end where this stepper is, and then 16 RPMs, I think, in the curve. So, alright, well, we gotta go print some gears. I'm back.